Peter Michael Senge is an American scientist. He was born in Stanford, California in 1947. He is a senior lecturer and is also founding chair of the Society for Organizational Learning. He received a bachelor degree in aerospace engineering, master degree in social system modeling, and then obtained a doctorate in management in 1978. After he had obtained his doctorate, he started working as an engineer in training for Johns Hopkins, where he was inspired by the works of Michael Peters and Robert Fritz. He is also the founder of the Society for Organizational Learning. He published some books and is known as the author of the books The 5 Disciplines, The Arts and Practice of the Learning Organization. Peter Senge published his groundbreaking book, The 5 Disciplines, which is based on his field research in 1990. As a result, his status as an engineer changed and he was seen as a leading figure in the field of organizational development. His theories are mainly about seeing organizations as learning instruments in which those dynamic systems have to adapt themselves to change continuously. In 1997, Senge's book, The 5th Discipline, was recognized and appreciated by Harvard Business Review, and he was named the strategist of the century. Learning organization is one in which all members learn about new ideas and accept the responsibility for the development and sustaining developments of organization in organizational learning process. The history of this theory is organizational learning was first introduced by Sayre and March in 1963, while the concept of system thinking was introduced in 1950s. Basically, the concept implying that the organization must be aware about the organization as well as the individual in the organization. Earlier, before this concept was introduced, most of the organizations only concerns and focus on the organization's goals without considering the workers' needs. Therefore, this concept is trying to change the managerial views at the time from being business goals oriented to continuous improvement. From the concepts of system thinking, a new system emerged, which was called decision support system. This concept tries to change the traditional way of decision making as it helps the executives to make decisions for the company future. The idea of this concept was renamed into organizational learning later in 1970s. Some have claimed that the terms of organizational learning was first introduced by Sayre and March, and one of the earliest theories in organizational learning was and still is Chris Argyris, where he was published book. However, none of the organizations at that time has taken the organizational learning concept seriously. Not until Peter Senge published the book The 5 Disciplines Principle, The Art and Practice of the Learning Organizations, where organizations begin to see it as very important for their business. According to Peter Senge, the definitions of learning organization theory are the organizations where people continually expand their capacity to create the results they truly desire, where new and expansive patterns of thinking are nurtured, where collective aspirations is set free, and where people are continually learning to see the whole together. The basic rationale or thinking for the organizations is that in some situations of rapid change, only those who are flexible, adaptive, and productive will excel and successful in the career. While all people have the capacity to learn, the structure in which they have to function sometimes are not conducive for people to reflect and engage in their organizations. Furthermore, people may lack the tools and guiding ideas to be on the situations that they face. Organizations that are continually expanding their capacity to create their future require a fundamental shift of mind among their members. The 5 principles or disciplines of learning organizations are system thinking, personal mastery, mental models, building shared visions, and team learning. Each discipline is related with each other. By this mean that we cannot eliminate or ignore any points from the first disciplines in the learning organizations. First is personal mastery. Personal mastery describes the strengths of people to be proactive and keep on learning to continuously achieve results which are important for them. Two factors which are important in these disciplines are defining what is important to us and being able to see the current reality as it is. It is also known as the commitments and the motivations given by the people to keep focused on the learning process in order to master it. Second discipline is mental models. Mental model is the process of revealing and challenging our own personal assumptions about people and the world. It is a process of connecting which it happens in our minds and relate with our thinking. This will determine our actions and thinking. The employee need to identify and make them clear about how business and organizations operate. These disciplines will also help the employees to improve the understanding. The third one is team learning. Team learning is the process of creating collective learnings. It includes two aspects, which is first is effective teamwork leads to results which is individuals could not have achieved on their own, and the second aspect is the individuals within a team learn more and faster than they would have without the team. All the team members have to be willing to shift and exchange their mental models and be open to learn from their colleagues and friends and require more knowledge, skills, and other benefits. Team learning, also known as a crucial aspect in order to build a chemistry and cooperation among the employees in the organizations. Each worker have to strengthen their ability and overcome the weakness so that all barriers can be removed in order to improve the productivity. The working environments also need to be safe and comfortable. Next key or discipline is building shared vision. A shared vision means all employees in a company share the same visions of where the organizations need to go instead of a vision statements where managements have written where the organizations should be going. This means only when the vision is shared among the employees, then the employees will automatically participate in the improvement process to get the company closer to accomplish its visions. In learning organizations, all members have opportunity to build shared visions that incorporate personal visions. When the employees are more close to each other and share the same visions, it will increase the level of engagement and motivations among the employee to achieve the organization's goals. And lastly, system thinking. System thinking is used to analyze patterns in an organization by looking at it from a wide viewpoint rather than small, unrelated manageable parts. This key allows people to measure the organization's performance by learning and understanding the whole system.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Jurusyami Meti Suhaimi and my message number is 256044. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the application of the management theory. Okay, SENGE management principles are focusing on creating an organization where both the employee and the employers are learning. Learning is the gaining of new knowledge in order to improve performance. Based on organizational standpoints, learning can help business to be more competitive and innovative. Since nowadays environment is changing rapidly, organizations need to learn on how to adapt and evolve in order to survive in today's business. Okay. The first is personal mastery. Personal mastery is the discipline of personal growth and learning. It requires individuals to deepen their personal vision, focusing the energy, developing the passions. Besides, it also involves passion, inclusive thinking, truth-seeking, and resilience in learning. From an organizational view, the more individual quest for continuous learning, the more it fosters the spirits of the learning organization. SENGE defines vision as what we want to create of ourselves and the world around us. For example, an interior designer might come up with an idea on how to decorate the house. So indirectly, When they have a clear vision, they will try to achieve personal mastery in their fields. They learn more about things related with their field of work, so once they become experts in their works, they are motivated intrinsically that leads to good performance. As for shared visions, it is the encouragement of experimentations and motivation among multiple members. Shared vision effort starts with personal vision since the employees have their own personal one. For instance, there are different departments such as graphic designer, textile designer, and stylist in the interior designer organization. Through shared visions, the employees are able to adjust their personal visions so that it encompasses not just what they want for themselves, but also what they want for the larger vision, which is for the company that they work. This is because when they talk and share about the vision, it helps to build common understanding, commitment, and also teamwork in order to achieve the organization visions. Okay. Next is team learning. It happens when employees start to think together in a discussion or meeting in order to solve problems. Teams develop reflections, inquiry, and discussion skills to conduct more skillful change conversation with each other, which form the basis for creating a shared vision of change and deciding on common commitment to actions. For example, when they communicate a project to decorate a client's house, both the employee and the employer will hold a meeting to share about their opinions, knowledge, insights, and skills with each other about how to create a decoration that will satisfy the clients. For example, the furniture designer can share about their view on which furniture suits the most for the space when the graphic designer tell about their idea of design. So, through team learning, they will be able to improve their teamwork and also create better performance as they act as one group. Besides, develop a deep mental model will bring success. Mental models are known as assumptions, mindset, beliefs, and values that will influence the way people think and their actions. The mental model involves the thought and perception of challenges or workplace which involve the pupil to resolve the assumptions. To change a mental model, people need to reflect on their assumptions and behavior. Ladder of inference and reflective inquiry can also be used to describe and simplify the other's assumption to share understanding. For example, during the meeting of the interior designer team, each employee gives their assumption and perception of the themes and decorations by using the ladder of inference tools. So, it will help the employees to find the most suitable ideas for the themes and decoration. Moreover, system thinking is known as the framework to analyze figures in the organization by using the holistic viewpoint to get a bigger image of the findings. It helps people to penetrate the small subtitles, supports, influence the ideas, and identify the advantage and disadvantage of the plans and program. Also, a deeper and complete consciousness of the interconnections can be determined in changing the system and plan. To enhance system thinking, people can use the system thinking maps and archetypes in order to analyze problems, events, and situations to find better solutions. For example, each of the employees in the interior designer team accumulates their findings and information, examine, comparing, and sharing thoughts and ideas in order to create a new design that will be the trends in the market.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Anis Hanani binti Razlan. My metric number is 255527. Now I will present about contributions or benefit of management theory. First and foremost, the benefit of implementing learning organisation is help in decision making. System thinking helps in developing individual and collective thinking skill. It helps employee to improve individual and collective decision making by finding the reasons and the cause of problem occur. Choose the best and suitable system to change to enhance the result. Also, learning organizations are actively creating, producing, exchanging and preparing information needed to qualify it to make improvement in order to change the environment. Another benefit of implementing learning organisation is maintaining the competitive advantage. Personal mastery will be a different plan and strategy and develop in spiritual way, such as identify the personal visions, focus on the goals and ability to interpret reality objectively. In order to gain competitive advantage, the organizational need to have flexible strategy and plan, a clear, continuous idea and plan of new knowledge, information and experience can maintain the dynamic prepared for change of the organization. Next is improving knowledge sharing. Knowledge sharing is highly depends on effective continuous collaborations among members of the organizations. By having a team learning in organizations, employees are able to work together collectively and improve their capacities to produce the result they want to achieve. Employees are able to learn better from each other by getting interested in the meeting, response with the effective and creative idea, and concentrating to achieve the goal. Besides, learning organisation helps in improving the quality of output. Learning organizations encourage employees to learn and grow their skills and knowledge. Share visions help employees to be more motivated to learn. Adapting to implementation of share vision, develop a motivational environment for employees within the organizational to improve the quality of output. Lastly, maintaining the level of innovation. Mentor model encourage employees to be more innovative. The assumptions carried by employees and organizations are known as mentor model. Mentor model enable the employee to acknowledge the assumptions and generalizations that will impact the decision making. This further will enhance the progress and new idea.
Okay. Let's continue with the criticism of the management theory. One of the biggest problems with SENGE's approach is the questions of sophistications and disposition, where there is nothing to do with the theory, its rightness, nor the way it is presented. According to Poyle, Tichinson, and Van der Kolk, there are three concerns about the learning organization concept. First, its notions of learning is fairly limited, in that it seems to equal discussions and reflections aimed at shared value. Second, it is quite unclear how exactly the work is organized in the learning organization. Third, the perspective of learning organization is appealing, but it remains unclear how the theory can be implemented satisfactorily. In addition, despite SENGE's creative and visionary fusions of system themes, leadership and learning, his work is critically flawed as a vision of system change and distributed leadership. According to Flood and Rayling, without a practice-based explorations of how learning organization emerge and changes through social practices and human agency, system thinking lacks a credible theory of organizational change and organizational learning. Last is the neglect of power issues. Gray claims that while the learning organizations may replace bureaucratic or single-loop learning, in itself it is just as narrowly defined. It is no more than just another form of self-control, part of the sustained assault on bureaucracy, which typifies a recent managerial discourse. In addition, Ortenblad contends that the learning organization is just another way of a company to become independent of any individual member.
In conclusion, Peter SENGE theory, which is learning organizational idea, has received so much consideration since the distributions of Peter SENGE book, The Fifth Discipline. He gave 5 associating disciplines that constitute a learning organization, which is personal mastery, mentor model, team learning, building shared visions, and system thinking. A wide range of concern regarding the concept of learning organisation remain. However, Peter SENGE have come with the conclusions that the learning organisation is a fact. Learning organisations can be achieved in the long run. It takes time for organisation to learn from mistakes and make progress. Team learning is essential in learning organisations because it improves communication across department. Learning improves the chance of success in change in the organisation, which is vital for compete and survive.